Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday. I hope that you are all having the most fantastic day and that your week is going well. Something that I really wanted to talk about today is looking at our purpose in life. Now, I don't know how you personally view life and what it gives back to you in return, but I had a really wonderful conversation with my mom today, actually. We sat on the phone for quite some time talking about life, talking about how she feels now that she has retired. And actually, as we progress throughout life, we find ourselves in different modes and eras. So when you are a child, you are somebody's daughter or son. When you are a teenager, you are a pupil or student. When you become an adult, you are an employee. You may then become a parent if you're blessed to have children. You may become a partner, a husband, a wife, somebody that people depend upon, somebody that is helpful, useful, kind and caring. But we all have these titles. We all have these roles at different ages and stages of life. And when my brother and I left home quite some years ago now, my mum found that she kind of had to reassess. What am I if I'm not caring for children? She continued to work. So she said, I'm an employee and a wife. But then what happens when you retire? Okay, you no longer have that role of what you have spent the past 40 or 50 years of your life doing. So now you have to say, who am I? What do I like? How will I spend my spare time? And is this fulfilling? I think a lot of people kind of hit those milestones in life at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and beyond, and kind of have that wake-up call of, how am I living? What is my reality? And is this meaningful to me? That's probably something that's quite deep for a Tuesday evening to discuss, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this, on how you view life differently with each passing decade, and any advice that you would give to your younger self. If you were to take 10 years off now from your age, what would you say to yourself 10 years ago as a way to kind of manage and navigate life? So scrolling through your comments, guys, just to catch up, thank you all for joining. Opemye, I hope I've said that right, says fine. Gabriel says, hello Tracy, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Rafiq says something that I can't read, but thank you for joining. Bahan says, hi, welcome. I've got hiccups from eating dinner. Rehan says, very nice, thank you. And Jolie says, where are you from? I am from England, born and raised, but my father's side of the family are Hungarian and my mother's side of the family are Irish. So of Eastern European descent, as it turns out. But being born and raised in England, I guess it's all I've ever known is to be English. But, you know, if we were to all trace our family trees back, I'm sure nobody is from any original country. We are a mixture, a melting pot of culture and diversity, which is very exciting and lovely. Where are you all from and how are you spending today? So I often get lots of Facebook pictures. Leon says, happy Tuesday to you. Thank you, Leon, and to you. Facebook throwing up memories. It will say this day, a year ago, 5 years ago, seems to be a lot of 10 years ago. I don't know what I was doing on that year of my life where I'm consistently uploading content, but lots of 10-year ago things are popping up recently saying this was you on this day in 2015. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how far life has taken me in that time and how I live differently now. But also I'm the same person. I've just had life experience, maybe a bit of wisdom sprinkled in along the way. Ridia says, looking great. Oh, thank you. And Sada says, hi Tracy. Hi, welcome. What have you learnt over the past 10 years? I think we all grow into ourselves with every stage of life. As you know, I've moved from my children being babies to now being teenagers, from doing night feeds and headstands and press-ups, working out from home, to now being able to work out in the gym. I've also gone from juggling raising children on my own and building a career to now being able to travel the world and have this freedom. As a result of that, I'm visiting 3 different countries over the next 3 months. And I will definitely be travel writing and blogging and sharing all of my experiences with you right here. So hopefully you will come along with me and be a part of the journey. Any recommendations and advice that you have, I'm always very thankful for, because we can only know so much until we experience it ourselves. And I think life is made to be open-minded. It's made to be optimistic and ready for adventure, ready to say yes. Broncoyuti says hi. Jagdish says hi. Thank you all for joining, guys. Singh says, you are the most beautiful woman on earth. Oh, thank you. I think that's definitely down to perspective. And, you know, I may not be as glamorous as I used to be in my 20s. I'm in my 30s now. And I'm so happy just embracing natural beauty in not wearing loads of makeup, in not having hair extensions and nails and lashes. I still share throwback pictures to show what I look like at my most glam as a glamour model. That was a huge part of my life, 20 years of my life, in fact, which is nearly half of my life to be one way. So now it's a case of learning, who am I today? Where am I at now? And where am I going? And that's a beautiful journey in itself. Hassan says, Turkey? Oh, amazing. I will be in Istanbul in October, shortly after my birthday, in the final week of October. And I'm very much looking forward to visiting again. Such a beautiful place. And I've been a few times. Is there anywhere in Istanbul that you recommend I go and visit and experience? Singh says, love from India. Welcome. India is so beautiful. Bahan says, I love you. Oh, thank you. And Viran says, why are you so attractive from 2015 till now? Because of your heart. When you came to India, in Delhi, I'd like to invite you to my house and my mum wants to meet you. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you very much. I will definitely visit India one day, someday. It's on my list of beautiful places to see. And from what my friends have told me, you kind of need several weeks to travel around, is it called a state? Like different sections of India, as it's not just one place that you kind of visit. It's very big and it's divided into, we call them counties in the UK, which is just different areas. And then of the United Kingdom, we have Scotland, England, Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland. So in the UK and England, we have counties, and I'm based around London. But I believe in India, you have states, not like America to the same extent, but areas where you visit lots of different places for that purpose. So any that you would recommend, definitely would love to hear more about that. Hassan is from Turkey. Amazing. Singh says, what are you drinking now? I have a chamomile tea ready for the evening to relax and unwind. And I've got lots of writing to do. As always, I spent such a busy couple of days writing, but it's an absolute passion of mine. I'm so thankful that I can be creative and expressive in life. And I hope that the things that I write about, if you've been on my website, I try not to make it too kind of in your face. So if you want to see my website, it's tracykiss.com. And I cover lots of topics on health, fitness, mental health, well-being, longevity, health span, biohacking, everything that helps me to be healthy and strong and stay fit and active throughout my life. I always think that if you have something that you love, share that, and you love it all the more. Other people may be able to learn about something new, add things to their day that really does make a positive difference. But I'd never want it to come across as kind of pushy or advertising, because there's so many things in life where you get pop-ups and ads everywhere, and I just click away, like I'm not bothered at all. Whereas I believe in that kind of heartfelt, conversational, to be able to say, this is what I use and love, and maybe it can benefit others. You're not selling anything, you're not doing anything invasive. It's just a case of how you would talk to your friends or your family and say, hey, I found a really good moisturizer or protein shake that I love. And it's not like a kind of pushy thing. So I don't normally put my website things onto my social media, even though that's what I love doing, because I wouldn't want you to feel like I'm selling you anything, because I'm not. I have nothing to sell. But my love for writing allows me to share the things that I love, and I'm very thankful for that. Abdul says, you look very beautiful. Oh, thank you. Rayan says, I like you. Thank you. Ali has said something that I have no idea what that says, but it's a very long word. Suvam says, hello, love. How are you? I am very well, thank you. I had a fantastic day at the gym working out. Really enjoyed my daily workout. Eating well, being healthy, being active, doing some chores around my home as I work from home, writing, creating content, editing, all of my normal routine, but every day is different for me. So I am very fortunate to be able to work around the world, more so based in the UK when my children are little, but I've had the opportunity to travel, and I'm having a fair amount of travel coming up now that my son is back in full-time education after moving to a specialist setting. I'm really excited to share so many heartfelt, really important projects with you, which are so meaningful to me, that I hope I do it justice in showing it in the most realist and humble and human way possible, not to alienate anyone, but to say this is my reality and what I go through, and hopefully that can touch and help others. So lots of amazing things coming up that I'm very passionate about writing about, creating videos and posts and stories that I hope you will find interesting. I hope you will find useful for your own life. And any ideas that you have or recommendations for any aspect of anything, I'm always open to trying new things and looking for ways to have a deeper meaning and better quality of life. I think that's something that we can all agree upon. We want to live well for longer. So any tips and tricks and like family secrets passed down and just anecdotes, I'm always very open-minded to things. And I think sharing these things, not gatekeeping, is definitely a way to lift others at the same time as improving your own quality of life. Chase says, how are you doing today? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Sivan says, lots of love and blessings. And the same back to you. Thank you. Singh says, I think you were born gorgeous. I was definitely born smiley, but everybody bullied me for being ugly growing up. Nobody once told me I was beautiful. And I was just very shy and insecure. So I think as I've grown into an adult, as a teenager, I was very socially awkward and didn't rate myself. As a model from the age of 20 to now, 18, when I first started modeling, people would tell me I was beautiful, but because I was wearing makeup or because I had my hair dyed or because I had my nails painted, they didn't tell me I was beautiful as a person. They just looked at my surface and said that it was acceptable. Whereas for me, everything that is beautiful is what you cannot see with your eyes. It's the essence of a person. It's their soul. It's their aura. It's the way they make you feel when you're in their company. The way you feel when you make eye contact with someone. Do you get this kind of sparkle and butterflies in your stomach? Do you feel attuned to them, that you want to spend more time with them, and that you feel at ease in their company? And I think a lot of people are so used to feeling anxious or nervous around people, they don't know what it's like to find where they belong. So definitely as I've grown into my 30s, I now appreciate and understand what it feels like to feel okay around people who are the right people and not being in the wrong crowd wishing that they would change their opinions, if that makes sense. I walk away from what I know is not comfortable or calm. And actually, the people in my life are incredible. They are lifelong friends. They are genuine, heartfelt, authentic, wonderful people. And I just cannot stand fakeness or superficial or greed and status. It doesn't drive me. I don't want that. I don't value that. I definitely think authentic connections are so much more important. They are priceless, regardless of what a person looks like. It's who they are, who they have always been, that is so important to me. And allowing that to shine bright, I think, is what is so, so valuable in life. Viren says, please read my words. I see you and welcome. Thank you for joining. Abdullah has sent hearts. Thank you. And Subham says, thank you for coming online. Thank you for joining me from all over the world right now. Thank you for being here, for spending this time together and sharing this moment. How blessed we are to be alive. How incredible when we take that step back and we consider the bigger picture of creation, of existence, of the fact that we have the internet to conversate from different corners of the world, understanding the same language, being able to write, being able to portray our emotions and be kind and share positivity with one another. It's an incredible thing, and I'm just so, so thankful for each and every one of you for being here with me and helping me to help others. Burhan says, I'm from Pakistan. Amazing. How is it there? In England, it's turning back to kind of grey and wet weather again. We had a heat wave where none of us could cope. It was so sweaty and humid. And then we had a few chilly blue sky days. And now it's back to rain and grey skies. And to be honest, I think a lot of British people love the rain. We kind of feel cosy and at ease with the colder, wetter weather. As much as we love a nice sunny day, in honesty, I don't think we can cope with the heat. Ali says, I love you so much. Thank you, Ali. Sending love to you all. Scrolling your comments. Maru says, with your charming presence and gentle features, the heart feels comfortable and happy. Oh, thank you. That's so lovely to hear. I hope you're all well and feeling comfortable and calm and happy in all aspects of your life, whether that's your work life, your home life, or your relationships. I hope that you feel that resounding vibration with the people around you, that they are your people. They are the right people for you and they love and respect you. Just having a sip of tea, guys. Zion and says, happy Tuesday, my love. Thank you. Happy Tuesday to you all. Simam says, enjoying the coffee with your smile. Oh, amazing. Cheers. My tea is slightly cooling now, so I probably should drink it before it goes cold. Ali says, love. Oh, thank you. Scrolling your comments. Gary says, hi. Hi there, Gary. I hope you're well. Anthony says the week is good so far. That's wonderful to hear. What has made your week so good? So I saw a thing the other day. I actually shared it on my stories. I don't know if you would have seen, but it's a blood moon at the moment, which is a full moon that affects people in very different ways. So it's almost a catalyst for whatever you're going through. So if you are going through good times, they will be great. If you're going through difficult times, they will be very, very hard. It kind of exasperates whatever your norm is at the moment. And I've definitely seen a lot of people suffering right now. Myself, from June onwards, so for the past 3 months almost, I've been through a massive, massive life shift. I've had multiple very severe things happen in my life, which you probably wouldn't have happen over 10 years, let alone a few months. And it's been a massive course correct for me as a human. I will probably go into greater detail in years to come over what obstacles and challenges I've faced these past few months. But at the moment, I feel so thankful for each and every one of those challenges. Although it seemed like chaos and pain at the time, although it was very scary, it was very unsettling, it was very distressing. Each of those things that had happened to me, for which there were several very large emergencies in my life, they have made me so much calmer, so much more level-headed, so much more grateful in life to know that actually whatever we face, we are capable of overcoming. It does make us stronger and more capable in the long run. And there is a lesson to be learned in everything that we go through. So yes, if I had been given the choice, none of those things would have happened, or I would have spaced them one per year across a decade. But the way the universe delivered that to me was on a platter all at once. We have a term in England saying hit the fan, and that definitely was the case. But I just feel so happy now that I have addressed everything, that I've made these massive life changes, and everything that is coming my way now, all of the people I'm meeting and the things that I'm doing, they resonate so deeply with me. I can't imagine going back to how my life was 3 months ago, even though I loved my life at the time, even though I was working hard and constantly around people. I realised that a lot of those things now are not in my life. And it's quite groundbreaking to make such a huge shift in life in such a short space of time. But at the same time, it felt so natural to do that. The chaos turned to confidence. And I really was not expecting that. You know, you never know how you will respond in a hypothetical scenario. If somebody said, what would you do if you were homeless, for example? I'm not saying that has or hasn't happened to me, but what would you do if you were homeless? You would say, well, maybe I would do this. But actually, at that time when you are stressed and emotional and sleep deprived and desperate, would you do that, or would you do something else? There are so many possibilities of how you would really react when you are genuinely in that scenario. And we may think, you know, my opinion was, if anything like that ever happened to me, I would be so devastated. I'd be so lost. I'd be inconsolable. Actually, I was so calm. I was so in control. I took it in my stride. Like, I never thought that would be possible, but that was my reality. And I was, you know, pinching myself to think, how am I dealing with this? How am I thriving through this? How am I still okay? And I'm very thankful for that. I surprised myself. I always had this expectation of what X, Y, and Z happening would do to me. And it all happened at once. And I rose above it. I became a calmer, happier, and healthier person, which is the exact opposite of how I imagined it would turn out or make me feel. And I think life has this beautiful way of surprising us. We can be served chaos, but that can lead to so much clarity and calm. And at the time, it's a tunnel vision of, how will I get through this? How is this possible? Why me? You know, we can choose to be a victim or a survivor. And my instinct was to survive. And I'm so thankful for that. I think it's taken many years of going through things and overcoming battles and challenges in life that has led me to be at this point now. And it's kind of validated that I am on the right path now, because everything is just falling into alignment. And I definitely think the full moon has worked in my favour this time, after previously just throwing everything into chaos. Have you noticed over the past few days, have you noticed the moon? And have you noticed an enhanced way of living? Is it more beautiful than ever or more stressful than ever? Have you noticed that additional shift? Even if it's subconscious, you look back over the past couple of days, have you thought, actually, now that you mention it, I have experienced really bizarre things? Because it's something that's happened to people across the world. And it's only when you discuss that you realise. Viren says Delhi is India's capital. Oh, amazing. I've heard so many beautiful things about Delhi. I would love to visit so much. Raj says, why are you so sweet and beautiful? Oh, thank you. I think I'm just me. We are who we are. Sivan says, good morning. Good evening from the UK. It's almost 8 p.m. at night. And Singh says, Indian people are going to welcome you. You're going to love how they welcome you. I do have Indian friends, and they are the most wonderful, wonderful souls. so kind, considerate, generous, welcoming, as you say. They are always so happy and just beautifully respectful. And even though we're from different generations, they welcome me as if I'm a sister, and it's so wonderful. I'm so thankful for my Indian friends, and to meet everybody from across the world, even if that's online and not face to face or in the village or at work. You know, the fact that we are here together and we can share these moments, that's absolutely beautiful. Mauru says, words can't describe what happens to me when you appear so bright and beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yulendi says, happiness always. Greetings to you there today. Thank you. And also to you. Sivan says, I can feel the happiness from the face. Keep spreading love. Oh, thank you. You know, I get face ache from smiling all the time. Ever since I was a child, all I did was smile. And I think it's just something that has to come out of me. Like a big ball of light. I have to let that just resonate. And, oh, I've dropped tea on myself. I can't keep that in. It's impossible to contain. And I hope that it's nice that you feel that way also. Ferez says, you are looking beautiful. Oh, thank you. And Varan says, my mum and siblings want to meet you genuinely because I'm following you from 2015. You are a pure natural human being. That's why I love to react with your every post as human beings with loyal love. I know that you love to eat Indian food always. Oh, wow, 10 years. Amazing. Thank you. And yes, I literally eat constantly curry, dal, rice, lentils, naan, bhajis, pakoras, samosas, poppadoms. I don't know why I am just so drawn to Indian culture. I've always loved spice. I've always loved that feeling, that flavour. It feels like coming home to me. Even though I was born and raised in England and my parents ate meat, I had this calling towards plant-based. I last had meat at the age of 5 years old. So I kind of showed my family how to be vegetarian, how to be vegan. And it just comes so naturally to me. Whereas other people are like crying if they eat anything with any spice in it, let alone chilies. I'm sitting there adding everything to my meals and not batting an eyelid because it just feels so comforting and wonderful for me. And I think being plant-based, having dal, having lentils, every meal literally containing rice. I even have curry for breakfast some days, most days. I try to be conscious to have a variety of different meals, but everything does evolve and revolve around spice and vegetables. So coriander seeds, cumin, curry leaves. Oh, I'm drooling already. But yes, absolutely amazing. Pascal says, bonsoir, Tracy. Good evening. I hope you're well. Andrew says, I've just had a whole chicken and a couple of beers. Is that healthy? Well, technically, chicken is a lean meat. A couple of beers, they come from the ground. I wouldn't have that every day. I definitely wouldn't have that multiple times per day as opposed to vegetables, but each to their own. We all live a life where, you know, as a vegan myself, I would love if no animal ever had to be slaughtered or eaten to feed someone. There are so many other options available. Plants are effectively where animals get their protein. So you're cutting out the middleman that has antibiotics and fat in them and bodily toxins and cells, and you're going straight over the middleman and eating the plants. That's the healthiest, most sustainable way to live and to build protein and muscle mass and good health digestion. But I get that people genuinely like eating meat. That's not for me, but I wouldn't want to judge. So if it makes you happy, do that in moderation. Put your health first and say, I won't have a beer every day, but I will reduce my intake of beer so that when I do have it, I really appreciate it. And in time, you will lower your tolerance that you need to have less to enjoy it more. You know, where you could drink maybe 6 beers in one night. If you go a month without beer, 1 beer, you'll feel the same effects of 6 because your tolerance will have lowered. You're saving money, your body is healthier, and long term, it's better for you. So live a life that makes you happy, but do so with your mind in the forefront of your health, knowing that you are investing in your tomorrow. You are not damaging your body beyond repair to lower your quality of life. Scrolling your comments, Singh says, Singh is my last name. So your name is Abe and Singh is your last name. So why do you have it backwards? So for me, Kiss is my last name and my first name is Tracy. But in registers in the classroom at schools in the UK, they say your last name first in the register. So they would say Kiss Tracy as opposed to Tracy Kiss. And that's probably why I was bullied for so many years as a child, because it's a rather unusual name to have in England. Sivam says, hey, I love if you get time to take a moment to visit my profile and drop some love. Thank you for joining. Unfortunately, I can't click on people's profiles or respond to direct messages because I am a single parent. I have 2 children. I have 7 pets. I run multiple businesses and there's only one of me. So I can't take the time to go and give people special treatment. If I can't do it for one person, then it's not fair to ignore millions of people. As across social media, I have lots of different profiles on every platform. I can't do it for everybody, so I shouldn't therefore do that for one person. So I hope you can understand why I'm unable to do that. But I'm sure you have an amazing profile and I'm sharing so much love with you here and now and really appreciate you joining me. Amzad says, hello, beautiful. Thank you. And Bonker says, miss you from my heart. That's lovely. Thank you. Varan says, I'm very excited to see you here in India with my family. Take care of you. Thank you. I will give you a shout when I am in the area. It would be lovely to experience different parts of the world that I've never seen before. It's definitely on my bucket list to travel and have that sense of understanding cultures, understanding traditions, trying lots of artisan creations, people making pottery, people making tapestries and handmade jewelry. That is what really ignites me, to see that personal touch, that human touch in life and what people love and cherish, because we can be in such a rut of what we know to be our reality, of the things that we do every day, the places we go, the people we see, that we often forget there's more to life than just this bubble that we live within, this kind of diameter of 20 miles, for example. To be able to say, what is life like on the opposite side of the world, in a different season, with people from a different generation? How much we can learn from each other, how much we can help one another and elevate the world. To be able to say, actually, for me to do something here in England, that can make such a difference to somebody in the third world, or a country that is war-torn, or an area where education is lacking. To me, that may be a tiny slice of my time and my skill set, but to others, that is life-changing. And if you're not aware of that, you wouldn't give that preference. That wouldn't become a second thought. But if we are aware of that, if we talk about that, we talk about currency conversions and how that can actually benefit people in other countries, because for the cost of a dinner here, we can provide healthcare abroad. People then kind of put into perspective, wow, I'm really lucky to live the life that I live. And my gratitude can be shown by helping others in whatever way is possible. Abe says, I seriously love to watch your live all day. Thank you. I could probably talk all day, to be fair. I think maybe we do a 24-hour live at some point. Jack says, show me your 6-pack, please. So I am wearing clothing at the moment. The only problem with live streaming is if I was to stand up and pull my clothes up, that would be automatically flagged as bodily exposure and I would be reprimanded for that. So I would receive a violation. In a photo, if it's already exposed, it's not then a case of you are taking your clothes off, because algorithms and monitors flag up things in different ways. So I've learned that pulling a top, even though you're not flashing anything intimate, is then registered as an exposure, and I can be in trouble for that. So that's why I'm unable to do that on a live. If I came on the live without my top on in just a gym bra and shorts, as I have done many times, that wouldn't be seen as a bad thing. But the removal of clothing during a live is what is also flagged. I hope that makes sense. Shima says, I am so good and fine. I'm very pleased to hear that. Sivam says, your presence makes the environment happy. Oh, thank you. Viran says, I know everything about you. Oh, that's amazing. And so wonderful. Thank you for joining me on my journey for all of these years. I hope that I've given you some positivity and encouragement in life by sharing what I've gone through and how I live. Rafsan says, hi from Bangladesh. Welcome. Thank you all for joining. Abe says, it's not like that. I don't judge you because of what you're wearing and the makeup you're using. I really think you are a nice person to talk. Oh, thank you very much. I think that's how we should all be, not to judge people based on appearance. You know, this surface of skin, whatever colour it may be, however many wrinkles you may have, however far your eyes or nose or mouth are spaced apart. Why should that make us treat people differently? If anything, individuality is a beautiful thing. And if we all look the same, how boring and predictable life would be. I think the more that we're able to just say, this is who I am, and this is what I look like, I don't need to change that to please or offend anyone, the more loving we can be to ourselves. Just as when you have a baby, you have a child, you say they're perfect, everything about them is just so wonderful. And if you were to change all of those things, would they still be the same person to you, or would you say you're unrecognizable? You know, we need to be ourselves. We need to look how we look without trying to hide that or filter that or censor that or completely disguise that. Because when we are our authentic selves, when we show up as who we truly are, we really are, that's when we resonate with people. That's when we are the most vulnerable, because we're not masking or shielding or guarding anything. We are just being ourselves. And that also encourages others to feel good enough being themselves too. And I think to be around women who don't wear lots of makeup, I've never felt so peaceful and so happy and so unjudged. I don't feel like I'm in competition with women who don't wear makeup. Whereas when I had makeup and false lashes and false nails, it felt like everybody was enemies. Everybody was catty and dog eat dog towards each other. It was this kind of contest for who could be the most beautiful. But actually, it made people ugly behaving in such a way. And whilst, you know, people can be worshipped for being attractive, their behaviour becomes so toxic and so unkind and unnecessary that to me, I don't value that at all. I want to move away from that and be nothing like that. And I think that's why I found my way back to my natural self, because I realised how absent and unfulfilling it was to wear makeup. I didn't enjoy it. Sivam says, some advice for me. How can I forget a person I've loved so much? She is something to me and I don't want to forget her. So to love someone is a blessing in itself. To be able to have those emotions towards someone, some people go through life never having known what that feels like. So I think it's important to realise that you have been blessed by the love towards someone. Now that pain that you feel when you lose someone you love, or when they're no longer in your life in the way that they once were, that also shows that the absence of that person causes you to miss them. But that is beautiful in itself, because it shows how much they meant to you. Now, not everything or everyone in life is destined to be with us forever, because ultimately our life path is our own. It's an individual journey that even if you had a twin sibling or you cloned yourself, through freedom of choice and free will, you can end up as polar opposite people as you walk through life. So it's important to know that the person that you've loved is also living their life, and their life should be lived in a way that makes them happy, just as your life should be lived in a way that makes you happy. So if you grow apart or you like different things, or you lose touch with each other, please don't see that as a sad thing. You can look back and have fond memories of the love that you shared, but also feel love to the fact that they are living their life in a way that is true to them. And if you find yourselves on different paths, it's okay. That's destiny to be that way. And it doesn't have to be a negative. It doesn't have to be a vacant part in your life that is missing, but more so a pleasant memory of what was there and what it taught you. So if you do feel love or the absence of love in your life, count that as a blessing and know that it has made you who you are today because of that. And that's something to be very thankful for. So scrolling your comments, Ahmed says, nice to meet you, my dear friend. Thank you. Nice to meet you too. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Viran says, I know you're a celebrity and still reply to everyone. I try my best to. I don't really see myself as a celebrity. I'm just a normal person who has a following. And definitely years ago, as social media was kind of forming, it was more unique to have an online presence. Whereas today, I feel like so many people are on social media. So many people have gained thousands of followers that it's not a unique thing anymore. People can go viral for the most random of things and be seen and their name known. But ultimately, it doesn't make us any better or worse than anyone. We are all still living our lives. Just some are on a different platform than others. So, not everybody wants to be an influencer. Not everybody wants to have followers. So it is what it is. We all have a job and we all live our lives, whether that's in private or in the public eye. I think it's just important to be yourself, and what is meant for you will find its way. So thank you all for finding me and being a part of my journey, and always making me feel like I can do more and try harder and make a difference. I hope that somehow we can bring this positivity to the wider world and just be the change that we wish to see, really. Barmy says, nice to see. Oh, thank you. And Sivam says, I'm excited to welcome you to my city of joy and help you get unforgettable memories. Absolutely incredible. But that's life. What life is entirely about is to make these beautiful memories and meet new people and try new things and really immerse yourself in the experience of creation and existence. I think a lot of people live a life that is unfulfilling, that is very routine, that is stagnant. You feel stuck in a rut and unhappy. So to be able to say, I want to go on adventures, I want to learn a new language and visit a new land, I think that's what truly ignites us and gives us that passion and zest for life. Avi says, where you live in England, I visit sometime to Ireland in Dublin. I was in Dublin last year, actually, which was absolutely lovely. It's not far from England. I think it was like an hour on the plane. So by the time you take off, you're already then on the decline to land at the other airport. You can also take a boat, I think from, I want to say, Liverpool. I may be wrong with that because my parents went by ferry and I flew. So yeah, Ireland is lovely and it's where half of my family come from. How did you find it? Or what part? You say Dublin, have you been there before or are you planning on going? Juan says, very beautiful princess. Oh, thank you. Dipu says, hello everybody. I love that you've said hello to everybody because that's what's so important. It's not just a one-way conversation between one of us at a time. It's a family, it's a community, it's all of us as friends being here for each other, helping each other, supporting each other. If anybody has something they are going through, to lend an ear, to leave a kind word, and to kind of feel like we're in this together. I hope that we can have this wonderful community where we can share our honest thoughts and feelings, be considerate of others and help each other where possible. So thank you, Dipu, for saying hello to everybody. That's a really, really lovely thing to do. Marco says, love you, baby. Oh, thank you. Dipu is from Bangladesh. Incredible. How is the weather there today? As I say, in England, it's been rather grey and windy, and I think it's raining loads tomorrow. I'm in central London, and the there are train strikes at the moment, so I've got a nice hour's walk across the city in the rain, I'm pretty sure. I will take an umbrella and my trainers and have a nice mindful walk to an appointment that I have in the city tomorrow. Viran says, my family wants to talk with you every day. They're welcoming you to New Delhi, just like Justin Bieber. Ah, that's amazing. Thank you. And I feel honoured that you would say such kind things and be so considerate. That's absolutely lovely. Salaman says, hello. Hi there. And Dipu says, love to you all. Oh, that's so kind. I just love acts of kindness, just consideration and open hearts. That's literally what fuels me in life. So thank you for sharing that. Abe says, your stories are really so perfect. You should try modelling. You were born to be a supermodel. Oh, thank you. I've been a model from the age of 18, so almost 20 years, as I'm 38 this year. And I've moved from glamour modelling, so lots of lashes and makeup, to fashion modelling. More about designs of dress, of lighting, of silhouettes, and less focused on superficial, no nails, no lashes, no makeup. And I'm really finding that so creative. I love the thought of fashion, how it can transform your energy, the way that you conduct and carry yourself. And whilst I'm not obsessed with designer things, it's nice to have pretty things to wear, how colours can make you feel a completely different emotion, how you can feel more confident with certain things that you wear. It's not about the monetary value of something, but the way that it makes you feel. And I'm really enjoying fashion modelling at the moment because of that. Salaman says, nice. Oh, thank you. And Junaid says, very beautiful, cute. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. So scrolling through your comments, and Singh says, I'm inviting you to visit my place. Please collect unforgettable memories of life. Oh, thank you. Absolutely. If I'm ever near to where anyone lives, feel free to say hi, to catch me when I'm out and about. If I'm visiting places, come in and say a nice hello. I would love to meet you face to face. That would just be wonderful. Eric says, hi Tracy, welcome. And Dipu says, have a good day. Thank you also. Viran says, can you give me permission to make your face and name a tattoo on my chest? I would absolutely love that. But also, you should have your own choices. I would never want you to do something to please me. I'd want you to do it for you. Whatever you do in life, do it because it feels right for you, not to impress or do it for other people's benefit or to please them. I want it to be something that you would want for yourself. Arham says, hi, you are nice. Oh, thank you. Scrolling your comments, guys. Atua says, how are you, friends? So lovely. I hope that even after this video finishes, that you can still talk between you, that you can leave comments on other people's comments, and be kind and considerate. I hope that we can keep that love and positivity alive and flourishing and growing and building. I think it's so important to lead by example, and seeing these lovely kind messages this evening, you've given me so much happiness. So thank you so much for that. And whilst I have to get back to my children now, who you can probably hear my son making noise in the background, laughing and giggling away, I am going to tie up the rest of the evening with the children and do some writing. And just wanted to say thank you for all joining me this evening, for taking time out of your day to share a kind word, share a thought, and just share space. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening or day or morning or whatever time it is for you, and that you are kind to yourself and others. And I will see you all soon. Bye.